And now on CRN Radio, it's time for Silver Moments with Dr. Marcia Baltimore. And now, here's Dr. Baltimore.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcia Baltimore, and we have a special treat for you this morning. We have some visitors who really had a mammoth silver moment when they went to the Galapagos Islands on a cruise ship, and they walked inside of history. Is that correct, Mr. Brennan?
No, that sounded really nice the way you described it.
That was a clock that fell off the wall. We're sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, that was the highlight of our experience, which was an amazing experience in the first place.
We're going to ask you to re-describe that experience because it's so special. And it is a silver moment. It's like you're going to put it in the memory and tell people forever. And I asked you the question, will you please write a book about it? And what did you tell me?
I said I'm in the process of doing a photo book.
There you go. And it'll be better than just words because you'll see everything. Here's an example. This is Mr. Bennett right here with his white cap on. And he is in the Galapagos Islands right there in that photo where the buck people, the buccaneers and the pirates. Yes, that's Mrs. Bennett. Mrs. Bennett, who was there before your time? Buccaneers and who else?
Whalers, pirates. That's how they communicated with their families back home. They would leave a letter or such in the box, and then somebody who was going to that area would look through the box and see, oh, look at this, there's a letter. They would take it and hopefully deliver it to the family. And so this tradition, which started probably in the 1800s or maybe even before, is carried on today with postcards.
And you're not even a buccaneer.
No, too bad.
She calls me that once in a while.
You're a buccaneer. All right, you know how to pass the buck, right? So what happened here was these two residents of Seal Beach, residents of Leisure World, went to Ecuador, and Mr. Bennett, you put the letter in there. There's his letter. What did you read on your letter? What did it say? Tell people. Right here.
The letter says, I hope that this someday gets to me if possible.
All right, he wrote a letter to himself. That's what he did.
And mailed it.
To check it out if it would work. And lo and behold, how many weeks later, Mrs. Bennett?
I'm sorry?
How many weeks after this?
Just about a week after, the cruise itself was a total of a week, and then about a week after we came home, my husband Roger got a phone call from Heidi Cortez's secretary. And, we were amazed, and she said she would like to come over and to deliver a postcard of ours. And
all right.
We were amazed.
That's exciting. Now, Heidi Cortez is whom?
Heidi Cortez is the daughter of
Ross Cortez.
Ross Cortez, who built the city of Rossmore, or the community of Rossmore. That's where it started. And then he developed the first actual senior citizen community in the United States, which he named Leisure World.
That's where we all
Okay, I don't know if you even knew that. Okay,
that's Heidi's father.
Heidi's father, that was like 55.
And Heidi arrived at your door with your letter, postcard.
Doorbell rings and she's sitting there with the letter. She says, I'm here to deliver the mail.
Really?
So,
and did you recognize the card right away?
Oh, of course.
And so then you discussed Ecuador, I would imagine.
She came in and we, unfortunately, she couldn't stay very long, but we were.
But you got the point.
She got the point. We looked at pictures and some of my pictures, which I had been working on at the time.
Let me ask this question: how did she? How long did it take her to find that postcard in that mailbox? Did she tell you?
Well, the way it works is when you go on the tour with the cruise ship, there's maybe 20 people standing around, and the naturalist takes out of the box, which is an old whiskey barrel, rum barrel, sorry, a whole stack of letters, and gives each person maybe 20, 30 letters.
And they look through them.
And they look through it, and if there's anything...
Well, do you
are
tell
there
each
from
other
there?
where you're from first?
No.
Okay. So
No,
but how do they know?
they're all mishmashed all together.
Well,
So you
how
look
do-
through it, and then I'll hand it to
Just
you,
by luck.
Oh,
and
you
you'll
trade.
hand yours to me, and I'll look through that one, and so on. And then,
You don't even call for the cities.
No.
Okay,
no,
have them by
because
themselves,
they're
sort of.
right.
I see. So
So-
that's what they did, and then she came over.
She
and
came
here
over.
she
We
is
She came over and visited.
with
and,
the two of them at their front door, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is the daughter of the man who founded Leisure World, giving you your own postcard,
Right.
and you recognize it. So that's why it's
Yeah.
all fact now. It's not even a presumption, it happened.
It actually
And
happened,
that's
correct.
actually something very special. Because what are the chances of that happening?
Well, they said one in 10,000.
I would think so. I would think it would be that close. 1 in 10,000, that's a lot of risk right there. But anyway, they did it. And she was the mail girl, Heidi Cortez. And you met her at your door. So now you're going to do a photo book about it. People will love it. And you're going to show the Buccaneers too. You're going to get some old shots from old books about the Buccaneers.
Sure.
That would be fun to see the Buccaneers, the Pirates. Who used that post office before you did? That would be fun to find out. And now you live in Leisure World. Where do you live? Mutual what?
We've been in Mutual 7 this is going to be our 17th year, and we've
17.
seen a lot of changes, and it's
And
the place we wanted to be in,
you're happy there.
and we are ecstatic.
Okay. And rumor has it that you have a position in Mutual 7, and you've had it for quite some time as a contributor to your society. What is your position in Mutual 7?
Well, I am now the current president of Mutual
You
7.
see, you have
Okay.
a feeling for community, or you wouldn't do that work.
Right.
That's hard work. You have to get everybody happy all the time.
Well.
That's difficult. So you're there doing it, and you're trying to have a reality with it, like a little bit of a reality show, right? So you have an environmental
Well,
unit.
as we discussed previously, it would be kind of a boring reality show.
A boring reality show.
Unless we could do something like The Bachelor or Bachelorette or something like that.
Bachelorette.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, the
start
seniorette.
Yeah, okay.
About seniors.
The casserole brigade.
That's fun, that's fun. So I think that's very interesting that you've done that. And when he's the president, what is your job? Do you have to file, type, what?
Listen. I have to listen to
That's
all
good.
the
That's good.
reports he writes. It's probably a very interesting job. I mean, he enjoys what he does.
There you go.
He
He contributes
very
to
involved,
society.
and he likes speaking to people.
Well,
Yeah.
you would think it's kind of a thankless job being on any of the boards, and usually it is. But it's rewarding when somebody comes up to you and says thank you for what you do.
That's right,
And really, that's your pay.
Were you involved in that fire, or was that a different mutual?
No. The fire was in Building 148, which is 2 doors down from my
2 buildings.
our home, and
Was it in your mutual?
was in Mutual 7. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
did they solve it?
Well,
The people reprogrammed somewhere?
the people, up until a couple weeks ago, we were still housing people in the local hotels.
When did
If
that
you
fire
can believe
happen?
it. It's been 6 months, 6 months ago.
Oh,
And,
that's sad.
I mean, it's a very sad situation. We didn't know that there was that many government, city, state, and federal officials that had to come and inspect it, and before they could even start doing any of the major repair work on there. So, but that's what took the whole time was getting through the bureaucratic red tape.
Oh, I see. Well, maybe you need an ombudsman there.
Well, the physical property staff was fantastic and
Oh,
coordinating the whole event. Give kudos to Mr. Mark Weaver and all of the staff there.
Very good. That's very good. Well, I'm glad you got your island mail into Leisure World. Is there any more story that I can tell people, or you can tell me?
I don't think so.
You're happy the way it went. Within a week to get that letter was amazing.
Right.
And she came delivering it in person.
The whole experience for going to that island was
Phenomenal.
phenomenal. It was the highlight of all our travels that we've been all over the world, and this is the most fantastic trip we've taken.
Well, I would imagine the letter had something to do with the card. Had something
Yeah,
to do
that was pretty cool. It was
I would
very,
think so.
very cool.
You felt like a buccaneer. All right, well, thank you very much. That's right, you're bucking.
Some of our listeners are asking for future trips. Do you have anything planned in the future?
Well,
We're taking our children on a cruise for our 50th wedding anniversary.
that's in this
50th?
This summer.
You know, like a year over 49. No.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Where are you going?
We're just going on the local, 3-day one down to Ensenada
Or with the kids?
with all the kids. So-
That's fun.
So,
That's very good.
and we just
It marks-
in the last 3 months we've been
And
on.
don't forget your camera.
Oh, never.
The last 3 months we've been on 3 cruises, if you can believe that. And it was just, we went to Savannah, Georgia, and then we drove down to Florida and picked up a cruise, and then went to the Caribbean. And a month later we went back to the Caribbean, the other side, the western side. And what was the third one?
Galapagos.
Oh, the Galapagos one. So
Oh,
since August, we've been on 3
Now,
cruises.
all you listeners, you can call in and ask Mr. and Mrs. Bennett a question at 800-336-2225. Once again, 800-336-2225. And they'll talk to you directly if you call. Last week we did this. We did the year in review. And there were some very sad stories in there. The Boston Massacre was a sad story. And there were some very glad stories in there. The Pope and the baby is a glad story. And the other baby, 2 babies. This is the king to be, and this is his son, the prince, which he is already a prince. So you can see that, the year in review. And if you want to call and ask the Bennetts anything about their year in review, 800-336-2225. The Pope is changing the world, or trying to. And he's trying to put the element of peace in place of the element of aggression. And so far, by his own behavior, in my opinion, he's succeeding in getting everything smooth. Do you think so?
I think so. I think he's doing a lot of positive things. And
That's right. Kisses babies. Gotta do that. There's another baby. And this baby does his father's imitation. He holds up his fingers. There's his little fingers. And his father's fingers. They match. He holds them up, the baby. So maybe he'll learn some more things from his father. How to run a country, maybe. So I thank you for listening, and we're going to be back in a few minutes.
And stand by, you're listening to Silver Moments with your host, Marcia Baltimore, broadcasting from Leisure World, California, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Whether it's a serious fall, fire danger, or other type of home emergency, Life Alert is there for you. The company with its slogan, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up," protects its members. Here are some of them.
When you have a heart attack like I did, and there's no one there, Life Alert was there for me.
Having a secure feeling through Life Alert is ideal.
My independence is possible because of it.
Now, Life Alert can also protect you in a fire emergency with a system that automatically notifies our monitoring center.
Thanks to Life Alert, you can live alone without ever being alone.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-814-4041. That's 1-800-814-4041. Call now, 1-800-814-4041. For a free brochure, call 1-800-814-4041. 1-800-814-4041.
Do you have really pure water? Maybe not if you're drinking bottled water. Bottled water has some dirty little secrets. Plastic bottles come from oil products. The 5-gallon polycarbonate jugs contain bisphenol A, a synthetic estrogen that has raised health concerns. Bottled water dispensers quickly develop algae and bacteria and should be sanitized regularly. Have you ever cleaned your water dispenser? Are you drinking water containing algae and bacteria and synthetic estrogen? Now the good news. Pure Water Science can replace that dirty, outdated bottled water cooler with a high-tech water purification system. The Pure Water Science system features a stainless steel tank that constantly monitors water quality to guarantee your water is pure. It alerts you when service or filter changes are needed. Multi-stage purification removes organic and inorganic contaminants, and the patented self-sanitizing feature eliminates algae and bacteria while adding oxygen to your water. It costs less than bottled water without the bottled water hassle. No more bottles to lift. Just sanitized delicious water, hot or cold, from Pure Water Science. Call 818-502-4191. 818-502-4191.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is going to get worse, much worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. And if you owe the IRS back payroll taxes, chances are you will be visited at your home or business by an IRS agent. Don't become paralyzed by fear. Take action now. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help. Our team of experienced tax attorneys can get you protected, stop collections, and negotiate a permanent settlement with the IRS and state, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. At U.S. Tax Shield, our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. No games and no tricky upsells. That's why we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Put an end to your torment. Get protected. Get the Shield. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 800-211-8753. That's 800-211-8753. 800-211-8753.
You're listening to Silver Moments with Dr. Marcia Baltimore.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for calling in here. If you wanted to do that, and I can't find the number. What's the number? Maybe she'll give us the number. I forgot it. We want to talk about seniors in terms of the new rules of retirement, because retirement rules are changing and we want you to know about them. The history of the Social Security check was, the beginning was 1920, when they started an employee pension plan at the federal government. And the first Social Security check was issued in 1940. The first real generation of American retirees retired in 1960 and 1970. And they developed the classic image of retirement. They retired by age 65, they had company pensions, Social Security, investments, and paid off mortgages. But for most of the second and third retirement generations now, things will be different. So what are we going to do about it? We have to be sensible. We can't wait for somebody else to help us to do what we should be doing ourselves. That's not the American way. So you have to search for safe, low-risk ways to push yourself a little bit higher and to stay on a lot of the trends in retirement, in taxes, and in investment markets. You have to seek the margin of safety. Keep everything simple. That's a strategy for building you a windshield. And this is from Bob Carlson's Retirement Watch. He writes a retirement journal for all of us if you wanted to have it. And he writes in the Washington Post. So some of us work as volunteers, some of us work part-time, and some of us still work full-time. There's no cut and dried rule about how you have to live once you've retired or semi-retired. You have to fine-tune regularly. Now, you have to know the rules. If a couple's income is greater than $44,000, up to 85% of Social Security benefits are taxed. I'll say that again. If a couple's income is greater than $44,000, up to 85% of the Social Security benefits are taxed. You have to know that. Work with your accountant. Should you earn? How much should you earn? So 85 cents of the Social Security benefits will be taxed once you make over $44,000. Your marginal tax rate would skyrocket to 90% if you live in a state with a high tax rate. And the $44,000 are not tied to inflation. So you can get hit with the tax year after year. So you have to be on constant guard against what will be devising yourself into new and creative ways to get their hands on your nest egg. Sometimes it's best to pay the income tax ahead of time. You have to talk to your accountant and see what's the best way for you. Now, Medicare surtax for singles with modified adjusted gross incomes over $200,000 and marrieds over $250,000 would bring the marginal tax rate to 43% on an investment income. So you're paying taxes no matter which way you turn, and you have to know that. Work with your accountant. This gentleman is interested in helping you on his book called Retirement Watch, and his name is Bob Carlson. You might want to look him over at the internet. Now I wanted to talk about something we all have to do. It's not investing. We don't have to invest. But it is driving. Sometimes we have to be able to drive and we can't get food. We live too far to walk to the market, so we need the driving. We'll come back and talk about it.
And our call-in telephone number, it's toll-free at 1-800-336-2225. You can join us in conversation here on Silver Moments with your host, Marcia Baltimore, broadcasting live today from Leisure World, California at Seal Beach. We'll come back with much more right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
How deep in debt are you? $10,000? $15,000? Maybe even more? And every day that goes by, you know what happens. Your debt gets larger and larger and larger. Well, if you've had it with your mushrooming debt problem and the stress it is causing you, make this free call today to the Debt Solutions Network. One quick, no-obligation call is all it takes for one of our partner companies to show you how they can help you get out of debt. So if you have $10,000 or more in combined debt and you want to learn how you can solve it, make this free, no-obligation call now.
800-814-5108. 800-814-5108.
If you are in serious debt, you have to get out of it and fast. Call my friends at the Debt Solutions Network now.
800-814-5108. 800-814-5108. Call us 24/7. 800-814-5108.
Hi, this is Joe Montaigne. Every time my Uncle Willie tells me about his service in Patton's Third Army in World War II, I'm reminded of what we owe the U.S. Army. 14 generations of American soldiers who have courageously defended our nation. Their stories represent the best of America and should never be forgotten. Join me to help build the National Museum of the United States Army, a long overdue tribute to all American soldiers. To learn more, visit armyhistory.org.
Whether you're restoring a classic car, building a hot rod, or just bringing your daily driver back to like-new condition, Steel Rubber Products is your choice for quality automotive rubber parts and weather stripping. As one of the world's award-winning custom car and hot rod builders, Bodie Stroud prefers to work directly with Steel Rubber Products on his award-winning project cars and show vehicles. In addition, Steel Rubber works with top builders like Bodie to confirm the fit and function of its parts, as well as develop new products. So for rubber products that fit like the original, last a lifetime, and look like they should, you can't get a better product anywhere. If your dream ride sounds like this, contact Steel Rubber Products and enjoy a ride that sounds like this. Steel Rubber Products, a difference you can hear and quality you can see. Visit us on the web at www.steelrubber.com or call us at 800-447-0849. And remember, if you want the best, you want Steel Rubber Products.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's the little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. It's the new year. Take command of the situation by supporting Columbo's in their drive to legalize marinara. Columbo's, designated the official Los Angeles House of Good Eats, has the most succulent steaks, the freshest catch from the 7 Seas, family Italian favorites, the envy of Italian mothers everywhere, and meatballs so delicious, the recipe's held under lock and key in a secret vault. Just come into Columbo's, enjoy the fun, the food, the jazz every night, and then register to legalize marinara. You could win a spaghetti with marinara sauce and meatballs dinner for 2 from Columbo's. Drawings every month. Please your palate. Enjoy the good times at Columbo's, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, Manja.
Hi folks, Fred Dreyer here for Regenix. This September will mark my 7th year as a Regenix client. 7 years, and I could not be more satisfied. Why, you ask? Because they took the time to analyze, explain, and teach me what was specifically happening to my hair and scalp. And in doing so, gave me a reasonable expectation for positive results. If you have hair and scalp issues, there's only one place for you. Pick up the phone and dial 1-800-REGENIX or go to regenix.com.
Now, back to Silver Moments with Dr. Marcia Baltimore.
We have some local announcements that come out of our own newspaper called News, the Seal Beach Leisure World newspaper, and I wanted to share them with you in case you need a pencil, get it. This is an old one, so you don't need a pencil for the first one. On November 28th in Clubhouse 4, they had military families talking about their experiences in the return of their husbands or brothers or nephews from the wars. And it was a fundraising effort which resulted in 117 sets of bed sheets distributed to the veterans' families, 117 sets. A movie on January 22nd, this you can get your pencils, coming up, in Clubhouse 4 at 2 o'clock, and the same movie again at 7, called Identity Theft, will be shown. It's the story of a female identity thief, which is unusual. Now there's another that's on January 22nd in Clubhouse 4 at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Also, we have a project announcement for the new centenarians, C-E-N-T-E-N-A-R-I-A-N, centenarians, people who are living to be 100, and they live in Leisure World, and the Communications Committee of the Golden Rain Foundation has learned that there are over 30 people living in Leisure World who are over 100 years old. So in the honor of these people, the Centenarian Project has been formed. And the committee members hope to interview most, if not all, of the Leisure World centenarians. We will get you 1 or 2 on this program when they say they will come. The interviews will appear in the Golden Ray News and be posted on the Leisure World website. And we will interview those who want to be interviewed. They can contact us at 1-800-336-2225. Leave us their name and their phone number, and they can come over and talk about their life in and their life out of Leisure World. And how to live a healthy and long life will be presented in February. You can watch for that. And Dr. Betty Coven will discuss how to practice mental qualities that are common among centenarians in everyday life, centenarians. So the Centenarian Project will host a luncheon on the 100th day, which is April 10th of 2014. Let's remember that day, the 10th, and you can go and meet the centenarians at their lunch. All right, I have more local news. There is a program set for driving on January 20th and 21st in what clubhouse is it? I'm trying to find that. Clubhouse 3, room 9, at 1 o'clock on January 20th, Clubhouse 3, room 9, and again on January 21st, 1 to 5, Clubhouse 3, room 9. There's a fee, and you can call ARP for that. ARP is 1-800-HOUR-ARP, AARP, and they will book you for a $15 fee to hear the lectures twice. I think they have visual aids there too, so you can see what you're going to drive against and how to prevent an accident. In the year 2012, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration announced that people older than 65 increased in deaths. 5,560 people older than 65 died, and 214,000 were injured in car crashes. They did not die. So the injuries were 16% more than what had happened in 2011. Can you imagine 214,000 national injuries from cars hurting older people? 5,560 older people who died and 214,000 who were injured. So we have to examine car crashes, rates, injuries, physical, cognitive, perceptual changes known as aging. And the driver behavior will be an involvement in this, because if you have more older people having accidents, there's a reason, and it is age. So let's find out how to solve it by being more careful and going to the schools that will help us. Nobody seems to have a question on that. 800-336-2225. I have some more things I'd like to talk about with aging, but I'm not sure you don't want to call about your opinion before I change the subject on you to tell you that 214,000 people were injured last year who are over the age of 65. Older than 65, 214,000. That's a lot of people. Now I want to talk about some other things that are pleasanter to think about than being in a car accident. And that is sexuality in later life. Many people want and need to be close to other people as they grow older. And this also includes the desire to continue an active sex life, which is satisfying as you grow older. But there are problems that may be caused by aging with your sexual life the same way they do with your driving. So first we're going to find out about normal changes, which are supposed to happen when you get older. Then we're going to talk about abnormal. First of all, normal aging brings changes to both men and women, which will affect their ability to enjoy their sex life. So the woman has to know that she can expect her physical body, or sexual part of her physical body, to shorten and narrow. The walls of her sexual part can become thinner and stiffer and less lubricated. And this affects her pleasure and her husband's or lover's pleasure. So talk to your doctor and see what he will or she will give you. Now there's another question. It's called ED, that men get, erectile dysfunction. And what happens there is the gentleman changes in his ability to do sex with his mate. And so that is called an erectile dysfunction, ED. And if it occurs many times, you have to talk to your doctor. That's the only person who can help you. And your partner. That's all. So I wanted to read that for you from the National Institute on Aging, which is a federal corporation nationally. And they have other informational pamphlets. You could get them on the internet and see what they're talking about.
You have a call from Las Vegas.
Yes, okay. Hello?
Yes, Dr. Baltimore.
Yes, you have a question?
Yeah, I was listening to the program. We were talking about senior driving.
Right.
And I've noticed that if you're not careful, those people, the Department of Auto, the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicle, if you're not careful, they're going to try to take away your license.
I suppose they have a right to do that because if you're in danger.
2 years ago in Santa Monica, California, there was a senior driver that accidentally drove through a farmer's market. And,
oh, I remember that in Santa Monica.
And ever since then, the people at the DMV, they've been given strict instructions to put anybody over 65 in cases. And I think it's kind of unfair.
Well, if he hit a lot of people and they were standing at a market, he deserves some kind of punishment, and they do it with the driving. It's related to the crime. I mean, he can't hit people with his car and expect to go off scot-free.
No, certainly not, but you certainly can't take it out on innocent people just because they're over 65.
I didn't know how was he taking it out on people. How are they taking it out on people?
The DMV, they're making an effort to renew your license.
Well, I'm in that situation right now. I'm taking another test. I had a vision problem last year.
That's right, they take the vision.
Wait a minute. They were right. I couldn't see, so I finally got the vision problem cleared up. And next Monday, I'm going to have a driving test and see how good the vision is. And I don't want to drive on the freeway. I can drive in the city, but I don't want to drive on the freeway if I have bad vision. So when my doctor finished examining me and prescribing the glasses, I went back to the DMV, and they're giving me another driving test. I think that's very fair. I don't think that's unfair at all.
No,
I don't want to hit anybody.
I agree with people being tested. I just think they should have the same standard for senior citizens as well as everybody else.
I didn't know they didn't.
Oh boy, they'll give you a very tough time.
I don't know what that means. Are the rules different, or just the examiners are chosen differently? How does that work?
The examiners are taking personal responsibility to some extent to make sure that the people that they pass are qualified. And
Well, what's wrong with
people
that?
they just, I don't want to say that it's prejudice, but they just have a suspicion that just because you're an old person that you can't drive.
I don't know if that's all of it. If they have a record of having a problem, like the man who hit the people in the market when they were standing and he was driving, they had a right to check on him and take his license away?
Dr. Baltimore, I just mentioned for half a second that I have RP. And the next thing I know, they're putting me through the most difficult of tests.
I don't know what that means, R2.
RP, retinitis pigmentosa. They give me an automatic fail.
Did your doctor write, wait, did your doctor write for you that it was curable? Or that he has recognized the type of glasses you need? Did he help you with that? Well, there's a sheet they give away.
No, because the doctor couldn't help me because I couldn't pass the test.
Well, I don't know how to help you, but I think your doctor has to be involved in it. Somehow. Change the glasses, possibly.
Oh, perhaps. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now we have some other clinics we're going to talk about. Tomorrow, January 17th, Friday, in the Healthcare Center conference room from 1 to 10. 1 to noon. It can't be from 10 to noon. That must be a mistake. From 10 to noon. I see, not 1. Conference room 1 from 10 to noon. That's what it says. Conference room 1 from 10 to noon in the Healthcare Center. They're having flu vaccine shots. And bring your Golden Rain card and your insurance card if you want a shot. And people who had the flu vaccine in the fall do not need it now. Just people who did not have it, they might want to have it now. So the senior driving rules are printed here from the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. And they say they're collecting data on physical, cognitive, and perceptual changes associating with drivers' behavior as they age. Like the man said, he thinks they're punishing the older drivers. I think they're investigating. And when they know what causes the problem with the older driver, they'll solve it. I have like 3 pair of glasses and I make sure what they're for and wear them accordingly. The ones for long vision, like when I'm driving, I hardly need a pair of glasses at all. I shouldn't wear them because my vision is perfect for long. But for reading, I have to have them close up. And then to switch, like when I'm driving, I don't read while I'm driving. So I use the sunglasses with no prescription. That's what the doctor recommended. So you have to work with your doctor. I have 3 different pairs of glasses just for that reason. He's got it nailed to that level. So there is a way to get there, but it takes time. It took me almost 8 months to get the idea that I should have different glasses for different activities. I guess you could bifocal too. I'm not there yet. I can't learn it that quickly. Some people can. And the doctor will help you. He does help me. So that's what I think you need to think about. Get help.
And ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Silver Moments with your host, Marcia Baltimore, broadcasting from Seal Beach, Leisure World, California, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio. If you have a question or a comment, give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. And of course, you could listen to this program on CRN Digital Talk Radio live at this time, and we of course repeat throughout the weekend, so be sure to join us on the repeated broadcast as well. We'll be back right after these messages.
This is Bill Carroll. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, now is the time to deal with it. Right now more than ever, the government wants your money, and it's the IRS's job to get it. Call Blue Tax to help get it done. 800-201-1008. 800-201-1008. Blue Tax will confront the IRS so you don't have to and get you on track before another tax season ends and another year is added to your balance. Blue Tax will work hard to resolve your wage garnishment before payday and stop most bank levies right away. No matter what you owe the IRS or state, Blue Tax's team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents will work to resolve your case and stop any legal action against you. Even if you've been audited or haven't filed a return in over a decade, call Blue Tax now. 800-201-1008. 800-201-1008. One more time, 800-201-1008. Or visit bluetax.com.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented Thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5208. That's 800-953-5208. 800-953-5208.
Fact, U.S. credit card debt is 8 times larger than it was 30 years ago. No wonder you and I are feeling the credit card crunch. You're not alone. Increasing prices and the costs of credit are stretching budgets and preventing people just like us from getting ahead or just catching up with our debts. At American Financial Debt Relief, we can help. We have tested ways to help you get out of debt. Find out how now. The call is free to learn more. If you qualify, we can reduce your interest, show you how to stop your debt from getting larger, and help you get out of debt faster than you can by making minimum payments. So if you're falling behind on your credit cards or medical bills, give us a call right now, where a free 5-minute call can change your life.
800-978-4817. 800-978-4817. Reduce your credit card debt. Call now. 800-978-4817. 800-978-4817.
Now, back to Silver Moments with Dr. Marcia Baltimore.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm reading from the news of Leisure World, and I want to tell you about the 101-year-old man who daily takes a bike ride around Leisure World inside to keep fit. Would you believe such a thing? His name is Hyman Quasman, and he rides his bike around Leisure World. You can see him. He was born in New York, and he moved to LA with 4 sons and a wife, and they all did well. And he is happy to share his ride by waving to everybody, so wave back to him, and his name is Hyman Quasman. There's another wonderful thing happening here, which is called Training by Charles S. Wilcox, PhD, who is giving a complimentary lunch and memory seminar on Wednesday, January 22nd, 2014, at 11:30 to 1 o'clock. So you have to reserve it or it won't be there for you. 562 is the number. 795-6955 is your number. 562-795-6955. And this is for Charles S. Wilcox, PhD, who will teach you how to remember names, where you put something, and how to finish a job. Like, do you know how to program the telephone numbers into your telephone? There's a question. If you don't, you have to learn it. So somebody has to teach you the memory of it. And Dr. Wilcox is a memory expert. He'll give you tips if you go to that luncheon, or maybe you want to call him. I don't have a number for him, but this number will do it. 562-795-6955. and that will help you. So we've heard from the biker and the eaters who are going to get better memories, and now we can talk about the singing group called Assembly of God, Leisure World Assembly of God Singers at 6 p.m. on Sunday. And where do you see them? Services, but it doesn't. The Assembly of God, it must be a church. Yes, it's a church. The film is presented by the Leisure World Assembly of God Church. If you want the name of the film, it is called Every Man. For more information, call 343-3655. And they are having a singing fest on Sunday at 6 p.m. and at the Leisure World Assembly of God Church. There's an artist for your pleasure named Walter Goldfarb. His mother was a Holocaust survivor and his father was a prominent violinist in Brazil. And he then became an artist. And his work is displayed at MOLA, M-O-L-A-A, which is the Museum of Latin American Art. You might want to look at his work. And where is he going to show that work? You have to call this number to find out. 596-3767. And you're going to go to Clubhouse 3, Room 2, January 20th at 1:30 p.m. That's 1:30, Clubhouse 3, Room 2, on January 20th.
Join us next week at the same time for another exciting edition of Silver Moments with your host, Marcia Baltimore, right here on CRN Digital Talk.